So as I look back at my 10-year-long drinking career, there are definitely days of the week that just stick out to me, or they had some significance. And it would be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday being the day that I would always decide I was going to quit drinking on. Wednesday would be the day that I would fall off the wagon. I would make it a whole 2.5 days without drinking. And then Friday was the day that I would drink as much alcohol as possible because it's Friday and I felt justified in getting beyond blackout drunk. But let me tell you about just Wednesdays back in my drinking career. Like I had said, I would have probably decided to quit on Monday morning because I would have just came off of a horrific bender, probably made some horrible decisions. My spouse was probably mad at me. My kids were mad at me. I had probably spent a bunch of money. I would have woken up Monday morning with a ton of anxiety, regret, guilt, and shame. And I would have that come to Jesus moment where I was like, I need to quit drinking. I'm going to quit. Today's the day. I'm going to overhaul my entire life. I'm going to lose weight. Today marks the day of change. So I would make it through Monday miraculously. I would be feeling horrible. I'd be having the detox, the withdrawals, the hangover. It would just be an awful day. I don't know how I did it, but somehow I would get through it. And then I would wake up Tuesday morning still feeling like crap, but mentally I would feel a little bit better because I would think, hey, I just went one whole day without drinking. So it would give me a sense of confidence a little bit. So I would drag my ass through the day on Tuesday, managing not to drink. But by the time I woke up on Wednesday morning, I would be feeling a little bit better. I would maybe have some energy. Most of the energy, like I said, was because now I hadn't drank for 2 days. So all day Wednesday, I would just feel excited. I would feel better about my drinking habits because I would tell myself someone who has a problem with drinking couldn't just go 2 days without alcohol. So that's when the negotiating would start. I'd be so proud of myself and I would believe the lie that I didn't have a problem, and I felt like I was a reformed drinker. It's amazing how 2.5 days would do that to me. So Wednesday, late afternoon, I would start thinking, you know what? I think I can moderate. I think I've changed over the past 2.5 days. I think I'm going to be a social drinker. I'm just going to have a few casual drinks. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to buy a nice bottle of wine. I'm not going to get the cheap stuff. We're going to spring and get like maybe not top shelf, we'll go like middle shelf. And I would drive to the store all giddy and excited, thinking that I'm like the normal drinkers on the movies who just have that 1 or 2 glasses of wine. I would get home, pop open the bottle, and of course I would drink the entire thing in like an hour because once I have one drink, I can't stop. And then I would be back in my car, driving under the influence, going to the store to buy more alcohol. And I repeated that process over and over and over again, like almost every week, because I would try to quit drinking almost every single week. But every single time I went into it with the same thought that I was this reformed drinker and it was going to be different this time and I was going to be able to keep it in check, totally ignoring my track record where I had never been able to keep it in check. And then it would always end up with me drinking more than I said I was going to drink, getting blackout drunk, passing out, and then it would kick off another bender. And more than likely, I would make it to that following Monday and decide to quit again. But sometimes I would just be like, whatever. Or maybe I would have a weekend where I didn't get totally out of control and my spouse didn't get mad at me. And I would think, oh, okay, well, maybe I have this under control. So I wouldn't try to quit that Monday. But sure enough, probably the next Monday I'd try to quit again, and it'd be the same thing on Wednesday, and it just went on and on and on. That vicious cycle I was stuck in was so exhausting. So when people say quitting drinking is hard, yeah, it may be hard, but it's nothing compared to the hard that vicious cycle was.